welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. Welcome to Code Kata's number 7 Hot Wings edition. On today's episode of Code Katas, I am going to eat progressively spicier hot wings as I solve progressively harder coding problems. It's going to be super fun. Everyone, welcome to the stream. I'm nervous. Like I sauce these wings and I can smell the heat from here. I'm very nervous. If you're not familiar with the show, you can go to github.com/codinggarden/code-katas. And on this show, I solve Code Wars, Code Katas problems, and all of my solutions and things that I've solved from past episodes are on this GitHub repo, and all the ones I solved today are going to be there as well. So this is a tribute to the show Hot Ones. If you're not familiar with it, it's on YouTube. Check it out. All of these sauces are from Hot Ones. A couple of days ago, I built this hot sauce list app for Hot Ones. I added Code Katas number 27 here. So we can see the first hot sauce I'm going to be trying is 2200 Scovilles. It's just Sriracha. Then we have Pain is Good Louisiana style. 13,000 Scovilles. Then we have Cheeba Gold, which is 25,000 Scovilles. Then we have Black Garlic Carolina Reaper, which is 71,000. Zombie Apocalypse, which is 100,000 Scovilles. And then Blairs Megadeath Sauce, which is 550,000 Scovilles. It's going to be a very interesting time. You're going to watch me struggle through this. Let's say hello to all the people in the chat. Hello, Daniel. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Spacey. Hello, Beck. Hello, Joe, who says, woo, Bitcoin. Don't know what that's a reference to, but go Bitcoin. Hello, Hexception. Hello, Ran. Hello, Bobby, who says, where's the hot wings? They are right here, right in front of me. I can smell them. Hello, Elia, who says, this is gonna be fun. Rand says, good luck, CJ. Thank you so much. This could either be the best stream I ever do or the worst. Like, I could like, end the stream crying, which is probably what's gonna happen, but, you know. Hello, Alan, who's here from Twitter. That's great. Daniel says, hype! BMax, another stream! Rand is asking, where's the milk? So I have some things. So I'm going to attempt to eat them without water and without anything else. But in the event that I need it, which I probably will, I do have some stuff. So first off, I just have water. I have a gallon jug of water here that I can pour on myself if I need to. What else? I have whole chocolate milk. I actually don't like milk, like, at all, but I'll drink chocolate milk. I have vanilla yogurt. The thing I like about yogurt is it, like, stays in your mouth, so I can kind of just, like, take some and just, like, leave it there to make the pain go away. I've got heavy whipping cream. So I've been researching online, and they say that high fat content things really help with spicy food. So instead of milk, I have heavy whipping cream. I got some French fries because the wings are from Hot Wings. What is it called? Wingstop. And I also have graham crackers. Cam says, don't touch your eyes. I will try not to. Let's catch up a little more. Oh yeah, and Svetlana says, setup looks legit. Thank you. I tried. I also have the nice Hot Ones red napkins. I've got the Hot Ones board. Well, I mean, it's not Hot Ones edition, but it is a board. And it goes from least spicy to most spicy. Got a black tablecloth. I don't know if you can see that. And Svetlana says, hello from Jordan. That's great. Welcome. Bloums is asking, what program are you using for cross-device mouse support? Yeah, I'm not using Synergy. I'm using something called ShareMouse. It's this, ShareMouse. But yeah, I have my streaming computer over there, and I can move my mouse between the machines, which is nice. Bob says, be careful. Thanks, Bob. Bari says, hello from Morocco. Welcome. Vias is here. Hello. Skelly is here. Hello. Hello, Felix. Hello, Michael Herman. That's great. Welcome, welcome. Hello, BS. Bobby says, chocolate milk plus hot wings equals something bad. Brian says, regards from Colombia. Hello, welcome. Cam says, oh yeah, I will regret holding the no, regret touching my eyes. I'm not going to touch my eyes. I will try it. Rand says, you're sweating already? I am. It's a little hot down here. Oh, okay, we have to get started. If you saw on Twitter, I sent out a link, which was to vote on which katas I should solve. Actually, I'll share it here real quick. And then let's just wait, like, Got it. Let's wait like 5 minutes for people to vote on ones I should do. And we'll wait for more people to show up. So right now, go to that link, vote on what katas I should solve. I'm going to be solving them live. I have not attempted them before, so that'll make it a little bit more interesting. And hello, Denemy from Turkey. Welcome. Some more votes coming in, and so I do plan. I was going to do harder to easier katas because I know by the time I get to Blairs Megadeath sauce, I will not be able to think straight. But past my better judgment, I'm actually going to do the katas from easier to harder. So these first few ones, the wings are going to be easy, the katas are going to be easy, but then towards the end, it's going to get pretty difficult. So we'll start with 2 8Qs. We'll do 2 7, then we'll do a 6 and a 5. Alka says it looks warm. Do I look warm? I look like I'm sweating? I might be. I'm nervous. I'm nervous. All right, some votes are coming in. Yeah, and if there are no votes for like ones that we need, because we do need some 7s. Nobody's really voting for the 7s. We'll pick one. Whew. Okay, I think I'm gonna get started, and I'm going to start with this 8Q, which has 6 upvotes, and it is called Basic Mathematical Operations. Oh man, is Code Wars down today? That would be horrible. Please, Code Wars? Is my internet down? Oh, there it is. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, so this first one, basic mathematical operations. Your task is to create a function that does 4 basic mathematical operations. The function should take 3 arguments, the operation, the value, the first value, and the second value. The function should return the result of numbers after applying these operations. So for example, if you're given a plus sign and 4 and 7, you need to add them together. If you're given a minus sign, 15 and 18, you need to subtract them. A multiplication sign, division sign, etc. So it's a fairly easy one. We'll do this one to get going. Let's get everything set up before I eat my spicy wing. Right, so we're gonna do that one. We'll bring this down locally. So we want a file called Basic Mathematical Operations. We have our function. We have our examples. We'll start up Quokka. Quokka is a really cool tool that runs your code inside of VS Code or Atom or whatever editor you prefer. But you'll notice that right now my function is returning undefined because we need to implement it. Okay, let me see. Anything else in the chat I should look at? Yeah, Daniel asked the key question here. It is a wing for every kata. Wait, no. Is it? Yeah, I have 6 katas. I'm planning to do 6 katas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I will eat the wing before I solve the kata. Yes, that's the format. Okay, I've never been this nervous live on stream. Okay, here we go. Okay, the first one though is Sriracha. It's only 2200 Scovilles. This is going to be easy. So starting on this end here. They're already cold. I got these like 30 minutes ago. And then sauced them. I got bare wings from Wingstop. This is not bad. This is delicious. This is good. I'm gonna eat the whole thing. Because I haven't eaten dinner. I've never actually put Sriracha on hot wings. It goes well. Yeah, if you ever watch the Hot Ones show, it's edited, so you don't have to see them eat the entire wing. This is live. We're live right now. You're watching me get my fingers all messy, eat this hot wing. There we go, one down. That's good. It's tasty. All right, let's solve the kata. Here we go. Yes, basic operation. So we're given the operation and then two numbers, and we have to perform that operation on them. So here's what I'm thinking. I want probably like an object to store the operation functions. Like I could have a bunch of if-else statements, like if it's a plus, return the addition, if it's a minus, return the addition. But I think it'll be cool to have an object. We'll have all of the operation functions inside of it, and then we can just reach into that object and grab the operation. So once we have the object, then we'll say, I have a piece of chicken on my keyboard, let's get rid of that. Then we'll say, get the operation for the given operation. And then lastly, we will return the result of the operation. Okay, so an object to store the operation functions. I think it should look like this. So we'll have an object called operations. Inside of it, the keys will be the operations themselves. So like in this case, we'll have a plus sign. And then the value is going to be a function that takes in A and B. And then does the thing. So for plus, it should return A plus B. Cool. And then we want the same thing for minus. A minus B. And then we want the same thing for multiplication. A times B. And then we want the same thing for division. And this will be A divided by B. Easy enough. So now that I have this object of operations, then I can get the operation function. So we'll create a variable called operation function, and that's going to be operations at the given operation. So they pass in a plus sign. We're going to reach in here and grab this function, put it in this variable. Now that we have the function, we can return the result of the operation. So we want to return operation function with value 1 and value 2. And that does it. Cool. There are a ton of other ways we could do this. You could potentially use eval. You've probably heard eval is evil, but eval, you could give it a string with the two numbers and the operation in between it, and it would actually run that JavaScript. I don't want to do that. I like that I have these little functions here, and I can use them. I'm good with this solution. Let's look at the chat real quick to see if anybody said anything. Yeah, let's catch up. Yeah, so someone asked, what was the name of that extension? It is Quokka.js. Alka's saying it's mukbang. Yeah, mukbang is, I think it originated in Korea. It's where people literally just eat food on stream. Yeah. Bob's is asking, how did I sauce the wings? So I researched. I went to the... I just searched all around for how Hot Ones does it, and basically what they do is they get wings from some other place. This might have changed like in the more recent episodes, but the way they used to do it was they would get plain wings from somewhere, put them in a bowl, put the given sauce in the bowl, and then toss those two wings. And so that's what I did. So I got wings from Wingstop, put them in a bowl, doused them with each of the sauces in separate bowls so there's no contamination, and then that's how I'm eating them. Elia is saying, don't mess up your keyboard, I'll try. And someone said, who said that? Danny Fritz, and hello, Danny Fritz, welcome, says, I want that soundboard going. You may have heard it. So I have a helper off screen who will remain unmentioned. We're just going to pretend like everything's happening wonderfully. But they're also here for my safety in the event that I need to douse myself with milk and go to the hospital. So someone is handling the soundboard, and so that'll be fun. Oh, this is a good question. Justin is asking, CJ, what is your favorite Hot Ones episode? Okay, I have a few. Okay, so it varies. You have interesting guests, and then you have guests that can handle their spiciness really, really well. So one of the most interesting guests was Eric Andre. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he has like really insane humor. He has a show on Adult Swim. But it was beautiful. He just went completely insane. I'm not gonna spoil it, but you should watch that episode because it's freaking hilarious. In terms of who handled their spice really well, there's an episode, maybe it was like season 2 or 3 with Henry Rollins. He used to be the lead singer for Black Flag. Now he does like acting and speaking gigs and stuff like that, but he really handled his spice. Like he was a little bit intense, but he got through the whole thing. So Eric Andre, Henry Rollins, and then the Neil deGrasse Tyson episode was just awesome because he's talking about like space and life and existence while eating hot wings. So that one was super cool. Yeah, those are my faves. Bob says, yeah, there's gonna be spicy residue all over your keyboard. Cool. Yeah, and Alan mentioned we could use eval. I don't want to use eval. Oh yeah, the Post Malone episode was great. I'll have to throw that in there because Post Malone is just so chill and funny. I don't know. That's a good episode as well. Okay, I think our code's working. I'm stalling basically, so I don't have to eat another wing. But let's try our code on Code Wars and see if we got it. Sample tests. Those pass. We're gonna do an attempt. Done. All right, final submission, and we'll move on to the next one. That was easy. Too easy. I really regret going from easy katas to hard. It's like trying to do, because I saw that like the valid braces one, that might actually be for zombie, which is also going to be very hard. I don't know. Okay, so we need another 8Q kata. We have 1 vote for convert a number to a string. Let's just do this one. Oh, not a new window. New tab. Hello, Tony. Welcome to the stream. Cool. Okay, so for convert a number to a string, we need a function that can transform a number into a string. What ways of achieving this do you know? So if you've watched Code Katas, I actually solved one similar to this a while back, but it was like a 5 or a 6Q, meaning it was much harder. And you couldn't just coerce the number into a string. Because very large numbers have scientific notation. But this one is an 8Q, so we actually can do it. And I'll solve it like 2 or 3 ways. We'll see different ways to solve this. Okay, next one is convert a number to a string. We'll bring our function down. And just some basic examples. We'll grab some others, these as well. All right, we're gonna start up Quokka. It's running. Message retracted. Random question from Robin Zahn, who asks, why do you have those 3 planet icons in the terminal? No reason at all. Actually, where are they? They should show up. I guess I don't have them anymore, but so if you have iTerm too, and you go into preferences and profiles, you can set up, what is it called? Terminal general. Yeah, you can set up a badge. And so I haven't done it recently, but I usually just put emojis in here. It's not, oh, there we go. Got a rainbow. Oh yeah, let's do a fire and wings. Like that. If we close it, there they are. So it's just a feature of iTerm, and I like to put emojis up there, which is fun. Okay. On to the next wing. This next one is Pain is Good, Louisiana style. I actually really like this sauce, but it is pretty spicy. This one is 13,000 Scovilles. Yeah, and I'll mention, they had this sauce on like earlier episodes, like I think like very early season 2, and they only showed it as 5,000, but then they started showing it as 13,000. I don't know which one is right. I think it always varies anyways, but it's a pretty spicy sauce. I actually really like it. I tried it on my chicken nuggets, and it's great. So here we go. Spicy. That's a spicy wing. They're good wings though. The spice lingers though. You gotta be careful, I'm getting it on my lips. Oh man. What did I do to myself? Like, this isn't bad. I can handle this one without any drink or anything like that, but it's only getting spicier. On the show, they actually do 10 wings. I'm only doing 6, so the ramp is a lot more steep than on the show. I knew somebody was gonna ask. Bob is asking if I'm gonna dab the last one. It depends. It depends on how zombie apocalypse goes. Bobby says I'm gonna get it on my keyboard. I actually am. I have to back up a little. Done. Okay. So the one we are doing is convert a number to a string. This is actually super easy, but I'll show a couple of different ways to do it. Okay. It got me a little bit. Okay. Yeah, so convert a number to a string. One thing we could do is just do num.toString. ToString is built into all top-level objects in JavaScript. So this works. So we're actually returning the string version of everything in there. Another way to do it is to coerce it to a string. So if we return num plus a string, JavaScript under the hood says, hey, you're trying to add 2 things of different types. So it actually converts it into a string. And that's about all I know how to do it. What else? What's another way to convert something to a string in JavaScript? Oh, I got one. So instead of saying toString, I think I can use the string constructor. So if I do new string with num, that does not work. Let's see what that does. If I do that in the console, like if I say new string with 1, 2, 3. Oh, it gives us the object version. And I think if you're doing, wait, where'd my code editor go? It could be for doing triple equals that it doesn't work. Weird, yeah, because this isn't the string object. Well, that's lame. I could do toString dot toString. Oh, what happened? Come back. I pressed a button. I don't know what button I pressed. There we go. So if I say create a string and then send it to a string, that technically does it. That's like a weird roundabout way to do it though. So that works. Yeah, I think that's about it. Let's see if anybody in the chat has another way to convert a number into a string. Bob says dab or unsub. Okay, I'm gonna dab the last wing, but I may have to not do a very hard problem on the last one because it's gonna be intense. Yeah, Michael Herman says hot wing interview is the new whiteboard interview. I thought about this, so I'm doing it alone today, but it would be super fun to bring somebody on the show and do like a mock programming interview where you have to eat spicy wings. That would be super fun. Hello, Shatan. Welcome to the stream. Cedric, hello, says drink some milk. Not yet. Gotta be strong. I'm not gonna drink milk maybe till we get about in this area. Oh yeah, so yeah, what happens if so Alan is suggesting string num. What happens if I don't say new and I just say string with a number? Oh, yeah, so don't do new. Good call, Alan. So if I do this, but I don't use the new keyword, that technically works. I like it. Appreciate that. Yeah, and Alka's mentioning the same thing. So if you do it without the new keyword, and actually, yeah, I don't need the toString anymore. I should be able to just do that. Yeah, and it still works. They're still returning true. Cool. Robinson is saying that my cheeks are getting sweaty. They probably are. And they binge watched my whole channel, even the videos when I had my hairs free. Oh yeah, when I had like long hair. Yeah, those are some of my first videos I made. Bobby says, hot sauce got your mind going nuts. Oh, good call, Spacey. Template string interpolation. Yeah, I love it. So, released in ES 2015 is a way of creating strings using variables. So, up here, I did number plus empty string. That's typically how you would do it if you didn't have template literals. But with template literals, I can just do this. So, create a string with the value of num inside of it, and that actually creates a string as well. Cool. Yeah. Alka says they hate spicy wings. They'd be the perfect person to do that interview. You can watch them cry themselves to sleep. Yeah. Yeah, ATD285 has a good question. Let array equals empty array. Just shorthand for let array equals new array. It is, yeah. So this is the watch for my eyes. I didn't touch them, but I got close. But the this is called an array literal, and under the hood, it's actually creating a new array. Yeah. Oh, good call. Sergio is saying get a bowl with water to rinse your fingers after eating the wing. Keep the laptop clean. I don't know. I have my rag. I'll be fine. Thank you for your worrying. Michael Herman says, what if the value is null? If the value is null, this is going to break, but it's an 8Q, so I don't think we have to do those checks. Yeah, Michael Herman is saying toString should... Oh, yeah. So if you tried to call toString on null, that would break it. This one might create the empty string. Let's see. So like if you pass null into the string constructor, oh, you get a string with the value null inside of it. Yeah, so, but because this is an 8Q, I don't think they're going to pass us any weird values or like long numbers or anything like that. Cool. And I just got a donation from Trap221, donated $2. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh, good call. So Alka is saying we can use the fact that arrays have the join function on them. So we can say function number to string. Here, let's copy this. And if we put that number into an array and then just call join, that's going to take an array with one thing inside of it and join it into a string with only one thing. Yeah. Look at all these ways in JavaScript. I'm sure there are a couple more, but we're going to keep moving. The one that I like the most is probably this one. It's the most explicit. Like, I want to turn that number into a string. Let's try to submit it and see if they pass us any weird values. Sample tests. Sample tests work. Attempt. And it worked. Cool. Robinson says, how about the spread operator? Not useful in this case because we're not taking an array and like spreading it into a new array. It's just a value. Cool. All right. This might have been too easy, but we're moving right along. Yeah. Interesting suggestion from Bobby, who says, ever thought about doing a coding session with us through VS Code Live? That would allow us to code and you to show how it could be better in real time. That would be fun. Yeah, I think eventually I want to potentially pair up with viewers and do like code reviews and stuff like that. And that'd be super cool to do either in VS Code Live Share or Code Sandbox has like a real-time feature as well. Cool. Since you have not, I did solve this, Kata. Code Wars, I think, is being like super slow today. Oh well, I solved it. It counts. Did I put it in the README? No, I need to put it in the README. Okay, moving right along to a 7Q. Let's see the 7Q with the most votes. There are 3 with 2 votes. So, please vote now for a 7Q. We're looking for a 7Q for me to solve. I need one with more votes than 2 so I can choose. Yeah. And hello, Rabbitworks. Rabbitworks asks, how's the heat level? Not so bad. It was it was a little bit intense. At the beginning of Pain is good, but it tapered off. I'm good to go. Cheeba Gold, I believe, is 25,000 Scovilles, so it's gonna get a little more interesting on this next one. See you later, Rabbit Zone. Thank you for tuning in. Oh, cool. Alka is mentioning they did a live share session with a streamer. So Alka makes like bots for streamers. He streams on Twitch. And he was saying he did that to pump out some more redundant work quickly. It was something that he maintained. It's pretty cool. Okay, have any more votes came in? Okay, this 7Q has 5 upvotes. Money, money, money. Let's check it out. Okay. This is a long one, but we'll figure it out. So Mr. Scrooge has a sum of money P that he wants to invest, and he wants to know how many years Y this sum has to be kept in the bank in order for this sum to be the amount D. The sum is kept for Y years in the bank where interest I is paid yearly, and the new sum is reinvested yearly after paying tax T. So we're basically, this is annual interest that we're calculating. Note that the principal is not taxed, but only that year's accrued interest. Very interesting. So, for example, the principal is 1,000, the interest rate is 0.05, the tax rate is 0.18, and the desired sum is 1,100. So, after the first year, the total value is 1,041 because of the interest rate and I guess the tax rate. We got to figure out the equation we have to use. After the second year, that money is used, and so it gets bigger, third year, etc. So we have to say, in what year does it reach the desired value? Okay. Thus, Mr. Scrooge has to wait 3 years, so he had to wait 3 years to get to the value that he wanted. Your task is to complete this method provided and return the number of years Y as a whole in order for Mr. Scrooge to get the desired sum. Assume that the desired principal is always greater than the initial principal, so that's good. We don't have to worry about that. However, it is best to take into consideration that if the desired principal D is equal to principal, then it should return 0 years. Yeah, so we can handle that like in the base case. Like if our principal is equal to what's desired, then it takes 0 years because we're already there. Okay, let's bring this down locally and then eat a chicken wing. All right, new file. All right, we've got the function. We've got some basic tests. Let's start up Quokka. Okay, so right now our function is returning undefined. For this given example, it takes 3 years. For this given example, it takes 14 years. For this one, it takes 0 years because the principal is the same amount as the desired. Okay. Rabbitworks is saying they're a fan of the black garlic and zombie hot sauce. You've had it before? I've tried both of these, and they're very spicy. Very spicy. This is the only one that I haven't tried. So you're gonna see me eating the Blairs Megadeath sauce with Liquid Rage for the first time tonight. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Okay. Yeah. Before I eat the wing, I kind of want to like get the formula. You know what? No, it doesn't work. I got to eat the wing and then I can start coding. Okay. Next one is Cheeba Gold. Let's check it out on the Scoville meters. 25,300 Scovilles. This hot sauce is from High River Sauces. All right, here we go. There's a lot of sauce on this wing. It's definitely a creeper. I feel like Pain is Good was actually a little bit hotter. I don't know, maybe this is gonna creep up on me. This is actually not as bad as Pain is Good. I don't know. Maybe I got a weaker batch. I feel like I should. I'm gonna put more on it. I'm gonna put more Cheeba Gold on this, just because this is not as bad as Pain is Good. Here we go. Cheers. That's hot. Okay. Let's solve this kata. Okay, so we have to calculate the number of years. I think we can have like a base case. So like we can say let's say if principal is equal to desired. We just want to return 0 because we don't want to have to do any work there. Great. Then we'll need a place to store the number of years. So, and this will be initialized to 0. Yeah, so the years start off as 0, and then we need to iterate. So we'll say iterate until the principal is greater than or equal to the desired. And while we're iterating, we need to calculate the new principal based on interest and tax. So this is going like 1 year at a time. So we're going to iterate. We'll say calculate not new principal. Calculate total. With interest, tax, and then also increment number of years. Because as we're iterating, this needs to increase every time. Cool. And then we need to return number of years. Okay. Do they describe how to calculate value? Okay. Sum of money P. So principal is P. The sum is kept for Y years in the bank, where interest I is paid yearly, and the new sum is reinvested yearly after paying tax. Okay, so I see. So we have to come up with this formula, but I think it's just interest rate is going to be how much money we're gaining, and then we have to also subtract tax from the amount of money we gained from interest, I believe. So yeah, so the principal is not taxed, only the year's accrued interest. So we also need a place, I think, to store total interest gained. So it'll start off at 0, but then each year the amount that we're gaining from the principal is increasing. Okay, so we need to calculate interest from principal plus the total interest gained, because that's the total amount of money in the bank that we're going to get interest on top of. So we calculate that. And then we subtract tax from, is it total interest? So subtract tax from interest, yeah, from interest gain. So we'll say we'll calculate the tax. So calculate tax from the total interest gained. And then increment the number of years. And I think we are taxed on the total amount of, yeah, we'll be taxed on the total amount, not just the amount gained in that year, I think. Let's see. The sum is kept for Y years in the bank where interest I is paid yearly, and the new sum is reinvested yearly after paying tax T. Wait. Does that mean our principal? I'm not good with finance. Does that mean our principal like our entire principal increases after the interest gain? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we can at least get this one with 3 years working correctly. Let me pull up the chat real quick, see if anybody has anything interesting or fun to say. Yeah. Okay, I'll go with talking about the Cheeba Gold. It's not applesauce. It's actually just very chunky because I think it has, yeah, it has yellow Scotch bonnet peppers in it. It also has peaches in it. That's probably why it wasn't as bad. It's a little sweet. Yeah, Daniel says just drink it from the bottle. I might as well. Hello, Sendmeat. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so Michael Herman, thanks for the clarification. They're saying, no, it's only on the interest. So it's principal times interest times tax. Yeah, so principal times interest is going to give you the total amount gained, times the tax is going to be the amount of tax removed from... What? I don't know. Let's just try to do it. We can at least try this example and see if we get back 3. Okay, so quick little check. If principal is equal to desired, we just return 0. Easy. And then a place to store the number of years, so we'll set let years equal 0. A place to store the total interest gained. Yeah, I'm curious though, like, is the amount I gain each year, does that now become my principal because I've actually gained? Yeah, okay, let's see. So Sergio is saying, I believe it's only tax on the interest of that particular year, else you'd be paying tax on previous year again. That makes sense. So however much you gain in that year, that's what it'll be taxed on. Okay. Okay. Okay, so iterate until the principal is greater than or equal to... Yeah, so I think I'll just be putting the value back into principal. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. And then I don't think this total interest gained is going to be inside this loop here. So here I'm going to say while principal is less than or equal to desired. No, while it's, yeah. So we're going to keep iterating until it goes above or is equal to desired. So the interest gained from the principal times the interest. So total interest gained is going to be principal times interest. And that is what it will increase by. And then the tax from the total interest gained. So let tax be total interest gained times tax. That'll be the amount to remove as tax. And so then principal, I don't know, you all tell me if this makes sense. Does it make sense to modify the principal? Does like your principal change over time? I don't know, I'm showing my finance ignorance here. Principal equals principal plus total interest gained minus the tax. Well, here we'll say total tax. And then we'll increment the number of years. So we'll say years plus plus. And then at the end of it all, we need to return the years. We did it! Cool. It's a little interesting there, but I think for the most part, it's pretty simple problem. So the total interest gained, and I guess it makes sense at the end of the year, you now own that money. So that is your money, so it goes back into the principal, and then the next year the interest is calculated based on what you do have. I don't know if that makes like financial sense, but that seems to be the way to do it. Yeah, so Michael Herman is saying then subtract the two, so principal times interest minus principal times interest times tax. I think we're just taxed on the total interest gain. That's why I did that there separately. Good call. Yeah, so Spacey is saying, shouldn't it just be greater than? Yeah, so while principal is less than desired. Because if it's equal to, we don't want to increment the years again, we're done. So that's a good call. We didn't have an example case that did it here, but we're good. Yeah, Michael Herman has the same point. So while principal is less than desired. Yeah, and Paul says principal that equals that, and then becomes the new principal for the next pass. All right, so I'm not totally wrong in reassigning the principal. That was the main thing I didn't know if I was doing right. Okay, let's submit this and eat some more spicy wings because I'm not feeling it. I'm like it was a little spicy to begin with. I need some hot stuff in my mouth. Okay, that pass. We'll do another attempt. Nice. Correctamundo. Okay, submit the final one. It's only gonna get harder from here. Only gonna get harder. Okay, and let's put this in the README. So we did money. Now we need another 7Q to do. This one has 4 upvotes. String ends with. Complete the solution so that it returns true if the first argument, string, passed in ends with the second argument, also a string. Okay. I think we can do this. Let's bring it all down locally, and then we'll eat a spicy wing. All right, we'll start up Quokka. Right now our function is returning undefined. That's great. Let's put this in our README while we're still thinking about it. Okay. Let's catch up on the chat. Yeah, so we fixed that. Cool. The next sauce is Black Garlic Carolina Reaper. I actually went out and bought this today because I thought it was a really big jump from Cheeba Gold to Zombie Apocalypse. This one's right in the middle. This one is 71,000 Scovilles. And here we go. Oh, that's hot. This is hot. It does have Carolina Reaper in it, which for a while was the hottest pepper, but is not anymore. This is hot. This is hot. This is hot sauce. Wow. I really want a drink of something right now. Oh, that's hot. Ooh, okay. Let's solve this thing. So we want to check to see if ending is at the end of the string. There's something built into JavaScript. We can't just do return string dot ends with, I believe. And that just works beautifully. Another thing I think we can do is we can slice the first string to be the same length as the ending from the end. And then see if they're equal to each other. So if we say string.slice, and if we do a -1 times ending.length and set that equal to ending, that works too. So slice with a negative number goes from the back of the string forward. Ooh, that's my mouth is on my mouth is on fire. My lips are burning. Okay, so this gets the end of the string using a negative number, and then we compare that with the ending, and then that works. What else can we do? There's a few other functions, like instead of slice, I guess technically we could use substring. And if we go, so substring takes in where does it start. So if we do string dot length minus ending dot length, all the way up to string dot length. Yeah, so that is returning the last few values. So substring takes in a start value. Where do you want to start? And in this case, we're starting inwards from the end based on the length of ending, and then we're ending at the total string length. And then we want to check to see if that is equal to ending. And that works. Cool. What else? There's also the substring function. I think it works does it work the same way? Yeah, I don't know what the difference between substr and substring. You know what? I think substr might actually take a negative index like slice, whereas substring doesn't. Let's look it up real quick. Cedric is asking, is it everything you hoped it would be? It's spicy. It has good flavor, honestly, but it's very spicy. Let's see. So substr can take in one value. Substring needs two values. So actually, I think if we did substr without the ending value, that one still might actually work. Yeah, that still works. So the cool thing about substring is you don't have to specify the second value. It just automatically goes all the way to the end. So that's cool. We're using substring. What else? Slice. I think that's it. I think it's good. The one I like the most is probably this one, just because it's built into JavaScript. Like, it hides the details of what you need to pass into those other functions. So I'm going to submit this one. Attempt. That worked. And we'll submit final. Good call. So Alka is mentioning, so right here I have -1 times ending.length. I can also just put a negative sign, and that too will work. So I don't have to do multiplication, so that's cool. All right, my lips are on fire. How are you? How many more do we have? We have 2 more wings, 2 more katas. All right, it's gonna get so hard. Zombie is gonna be insanely spicy, and we have to solve a 6Q. Okay. The top voted one is valid braces. If you've watched Code Katas, you would realize that this problem has popped up a lot, and I keep avoiding it. Finally, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it on the Hot Wings episode. Yeah, here we go. Let's just read this description real quick. Write a function that takes a string of braces and determines if the order of the braces is valid. It should return true if the string is valid and false if it's invalid. So it's similar to valid parentheses, which I've solved before, but this one is very interesting because it not only has parentheses, it also has curly braces and brackets. So we have to make sure that they are in a valid order. Yeah, so let's do it. Let's bring this down locally. We have a function. We have some test cases. Like my command key is not working like it should. Weird. Yeah, my command key isn't working. Okay, here, I gotta unplug my keyboard. There we go. Something was wrong. Okay, let's lint it. We'll start up Quokka. Cool. Let's grab these other examples too. We want lots of examples. This one's gonna be hard, and I might have to drink milk or eat some yogurt on this one because it's gonna be tricky. I'll have to fix that. False? Not false. False. Oh. We're missing a closing parenthesis for the function invocation. Okay. Spacey is saying they've been writing a compiler lately, and the valid braces problem is my recent nemesis. Yeah, this is going to be tricky. So, I can't start solving it yet. I have to eat the hot wing. Okay, so the next one is Zombie Apocalypse, which on Hot Ones they have ranked as 100,000 Scovilles. But if you go to the Zombie Apocalypse, the Torchbearer Sauce's website, they actually say this one is 500,000. So this is anywhere between 100,000 and 500,000 Scovilles. It's very spicy. Very spicy. Okay, here we go. It's also a creeper. This is very spicy. Okay. Thanks for the tip, Spacey, who says, stacks are your friend. Oof. I think that's a perfect way to do this. So, the way a stack works. Oh, can I explain a stack right now? I don't need to explain stack. I just need to solve this. Okay, so I think it's a good point. So we need a stack of potentially like I need to zen out for a second. It's not, I mean, it's spicy. Like, my body is reacting to it, so it's very hard to to explain things. Okay, so I think a stack makes sense. So if we push in every time we have an opening parenthesis, we shouldn't if we, and then every time we have a closing parenthesis, we pop off. Yeah, I think that might make sense. Okay, so stack for parentheses, stack for square brackets, and a stack for curly braces. Because, so the interesting thing is, you can't just have a regular plain old like incrementer. Like, if I moved this parenthesis right here, that makes this whole thing invalid because I've closed it off before I've closed the other two. And so it's only valid if other things have been closed before another thing has been closed. So I think what we need to do is we're going to move along the string. And then when we see a parentheses, we're going to push. When we see an open parentheses, we're going to push into parentheses. When we see an open of the others, we're going to push in. And then I guess if at any time we attempt to close, and if we try to, if we have a closing, either curly brace, square bracket, or parenthesis, we need to make sure that all of the other stacks, I guess, are either equal. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay, so like iterate over braces. If opening brace, push into given stack. So we'll have the stacks for all the different kinds. Okay. If closing brace, pop off given stack. We don't want to push just yet, or I mean, we don't want to pop just yet. So if it's an opening brace, we push it in. But we need to make sure that it's a valid opening brace. So if opening brace, check if valid, and then push into stack. Same thing for closing bracket. Pop off of stack. This check if valid, that's gonna be the tricky part. But let's just go ahead and write some code because we're here anyways. Okay, so let's say parens stack. We're just gonna use an array, so we're gonna push and pop off of the array. But actually, pop returns the last one, so we'll use yeah, we do want to pop because we want to remove the last one that we pushed in. That makes sense. Okay, so we have a paren stack, we have a bracket stack, and we have a curly stack. Curly stack. Let's look at the chat, see if anybody's giving me suggestions. Yes, fire emojis all around. Ooh, okay, well, spacey, yeah, and so people are poking holes in my logic, and I appreciate you for it, but Spacey is saying, if the bracket on top is the open version of the closed one you're up to, that seems... that might be better. So we only have a single stack, but we're able to look at the beginning of the stack, because it is just an array. And if it... Well, it won't necessarily be the beginning of the, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, and Danny is saying, would 3 stacks handle interleaved problems? Potentially not. Because of that, I need to check like which one is open, which one to open first, you know. Sandy Ross is saying, when you pop, check if that parentheses you popped is the same type of the closing parentheses. Spacey is saying, yeah, multiple stacks would still see that as valid without extra logic. Okay. I feel like the spice has gone away, but I can't think anymore. Okay, are we gonna just use a single stack? How would we do it with a single stack? Okay, we have a stack. Let's say we're here. We push into the stack. We push into the stack. Here we pop off of the stack, but we need to make sure that this is in a valid place, and in this case it's not. So would we check the beginning of the stack? Say like, okay, I'm popping off. If the beginning of the stack matches, great. But I guess the other thing is we need to know that this has something on it, because okay, let's say I'm using 2 stacks. So here I would push into the bracket stack. Then I get here and say, okay, it's an open parenthesis. Does it make sense? And I guess to check if it's valid, we make sure that there are no, I guess if I guess it's almost always valid if it's open. Okay, it's open, it's valid. We get here. Then we need to say, okay, this is a bracket, and we would pop it off of the brackets stack. But we need to check the other 2 and say if there's anything in the other 2, and we're trying to close the bracket, then it's not valid. So we would immediately return false there. That logic would hold up there. Would this hold up there? So like push into open, push. We need to close here, so we check and see if the other 2 stacks have at least 1, and they do. So we close it. We close this, we check that the other one has 1. I don't know. It could work. I don't know. Okay, Spacey has some logic. If bracket is open, push. If bracket is closing, pop. If matches, peak. Otherwise, return false. Nino is saying you only need 1 stack and check the pop of the top of the stack. Do I though? So like for in the case of like, let's say these 2 were swapped. Yeah, so let's say I had parentheses there and curly brackets there. This would actually be false, because open, close, and then here we try to close the original, the first one. And that doesn't make sense because the other one isn't closed yet. So we need to know which was the okay. Oh, okay. let's just do it with 1 stack. We'll call it brace stack. So we're gonna iterate the braces. So let's just say for I equals 0, well I is less than braces dot length I plus plus. Our code goes in there, and here we'll say if it's an opening brace, we want to push it into the stack. So we'll say if let's store it in a variable. We'll say brace is equal to braces at I. And we'll say if is opening brace. We'll write a function for it. Then we want to do this. And then if it's not an opening brace, then we know that it's a closing brace, and we'll do this. And so we'll have a little function up here. Is opening brace, which takes in the brace, and we need to return if brace is equal to open, or brace is equal to open, or brace is equal to open. Too many equals. Cool. So that's going to give us that it's an opening brace. What did I break up here? Oh, let. Okay. Nino is saying whatever is on top of the stack is what needs to be closed first. Oh, good call. So if we come across a closing and, well, no, I don't know. Because if we come across a closing and the thing on top of the stack is not the same, then we can maybe say it's invalid. But yeah. Okay, if the bracket is open, push. We're just gonna push it. Yeah, I guess you could never run into an invalid opening bracket in this case, because every opening bracket is valid. When you reach a closing bracket, that's when you'll tell if it's invalid. That makes sense. Okay, I'm about that. So we're gonna push this into the stack. Push the brace in. Okay. Then if it's a closing, pop. If it matches peak, otherwise return false. So if bracket is closing, pop. Yeah, because the closing bracket has to be, the closing bracket has to be the last one that opened. Right? Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, because okay. Okay. Because if we get here, we pop it, it equals, great. We would get here, we pop it, they equal, and yes, easy. And oh man, too easy. Okay. So we'll say last brace is going to be brace stack dot pop. Removes the last element from an array and returns it. Let's just log the last brace. Yep, cool. And we'll say if brace is equal to open and last brace is equal to close, then continue. So we'll say not. So if the oh sorry, yeah. So brace is actually going to be the closing one. Yeah, last brace is going to be the opening one. So if the last brace was an opening one and the current brace is not a closing one, then we return false. And then we do the same thing for all the other braces. So if the last brace was square bracket and this one is not a square bracket, then we return false. Same thing with curly braces, return false. If we get through the whole loop, we return true. This is false, true. This is returning true, and it should be no, this should be true. Okay, it works. Thanks for your tips. It took me a while to even think through, and honestly, this the solution is like fairly simple, right? We just push in, check the last one, and we're done. Whew. Okay. Yeah, we did it. Hello, Domenico. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, and whatever's the top of the stack needs to be closed first. That makes complete and total sense. Great. Nino is saying that could help if it's stuck. And Alka is saying the sauce has cooled down. It has. It was very spicy to begin with. And I feel like I don't want to cheat the system. Like, the more I talk, the less I have to deal with the spice. So yeah, we'll see what the next problem is I have to solve. And maybe we'll do something like, if I don't solve it in 15 minutes, I have to eat another wing. I have some extras. I could throw some sauce on. Okay. Oh, good call. And Nino is saying, if the stack is not empty, return false. So if brace stack dot length is equal to 0, return true. So we're gonna return if the length is equal to 0. Cool. Danny is saying you should go on the Hot Wing show. I have been building up my spice levels. Like, I live in a part of town that has a lot of Asian neighborhoods. I've been going to Thai restaurants and getting Thai hot. So I'm building up my tolerance. It's still hot though. Like, that stuff's hot. Okay, let's submit this and see what happens. Okay, attempt. No, one failed. Expected false. Instead got true. Okay, let's log the braces to see. Oh, if there's only closing braces, we didn't account for that. So if there are only closing braces, then it should return false. Wait. Last brace is gonna be undefined. Because we're brace. So basically, if last brace is undefined, return false, I think. What happens if you pop an empty array? I think it gives back undefined. Yeah, we get back undefined. So we'll say if last brace, if not last brace, return false. So like if there was no last brace, we need to return false. And let's just test it really quick with all the closing. Valid braces. Okay, that does it. Here we go. Attempt. Worked. Okay, final submission. Thank you everyone for your tips. I was panicking because I had just eaten a very spicy wing, and this problem has always been one that I didn't want to try to solve because it seemed tricky, but we did it. Cool. And it was easy too. Too easy. Okay. The last one of the night. And actually, where did that go? Valid braces. I'm gonna link it. Last one of the night. It's gonna be a 5Q. Let's see. So this is the highest voted 5Q. Is my friend cheating? I don't even know what this is gonna be. Oh, this one's hard. This one's very hard. I think like it just seemed very tricky. Okay, so this problem is a 5Q. It's called Is My Friend Cheating? A friend of mine takes a sequence of numbers from 1 to n, where n is greater than 0. Within that sequence, he chooses two numbers, a and b. Okay, he says that the product of a and b should be equal to the sum of all numbers in the sequence, excluding a and b. So the product of a and b should be equal to the sum of all numbers except for a and b. Given a number n, could you tell me the numbers he excluded from the sequence? What? I don't think I can. This function takes the parameter n. So n is always strictly greater than 0 and returns an array or a string depending on the language of the form. With all a and b, which are the possible removed numbers from the sequence 1 to n. Okay. If it happens that there are several possible a and b's, the function returns an empty array or an empty string if no possible numbers are found, which will prove that my friend has not told the truth. Okay. Yeah, this is like finding all permutations. What are A and B? I don't even know what this problem is asking. And Daniel says I need to dab the last wing. I think I might. It's probably gonna be. This is so much more spicier than the than the last one. Well, I don't know for sure. I haven't tried it, but in terms of Scoville rating, it is. Okay, I don't even know what this problem is asking. I might do a different one. Beck is saying they put some suggestions on my GitHub for 5Q. Let's check them out. 2 hours ago. Check them out. Beck has suggested some katas in the past before. Write a program that will calculate the number of trailing zeros in a factorial of a given number. Be careful because 1000 has 2568 digits. Yeah, I guess really it's the number of items in it that are that can be multiplied together to equal 10, or are just 10, or divisibles of 10. That's how many zeros you get. I don't know. What's this one? Your task is to implement parse array, a function that parses the array representation to a JavaScript array. Oh, okay. So if you're given a string, you have to turn it into a real array. But what gets tricky is if you have nested arrays. I like that one. That one sounds fun. Okay. Tic-tac-toe checker. If we were to set up a tic-tac-toe game, we'd want to know whether the board's current state is solved. Okay, assume that the board comes in the form of a 3x3 array. Okay, that's interesting too. Okay, I am not gonna do is my friend cheating because I don't even know what it's asking for. It could be that I've eaten too many spicy wings, but let's vote on it. I'm gonna do a quick straw poll. Should I solve this one or this one? That one. Oh, I've already solved tic-tac-toe checker. I guess in the past. Did I do it on stream? I don't know if I've done this one on stream. Let's see. We can check. We have a list of all the katas that I've done. I did. Episode 22. Check it out. All right. I think I'm gonna do this one. This one seems decently hard, but also very, very interesting. Wait. Require eval json.parse new function are all disabled. That's fine. We're just gonna go. We're gonna look at it line. We're basically looking at the tokens piece by piece. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna do this one. I guess I could have done another 5. This one was product of consecutive Fibonacci numbers. I don't know. Who will get mad if I do this one instead of any of the ones that were on there? Raise your hand. Send a chat right now. I'll give you a few seconds. I think there's like a 30-second stream delay, so we might have to wait. Oh, good. Yeah, true. Yeah, Spacey is saying that this one has bracket matching, so we could possibly use our old solution. In case of a parse error, return null or nothing. Yeah, the interesting thing about this one though is we're only matching square brackets. We don't have to worry about other types of things. Spacey says parse those arrays. I think I will after dabbing the last wing. Paul is saying that's the one I wanted. Which one? The array parser? I'm really just prolonging the amount of time before I have to eat that very, very spicy hot wing. Daniel says, do what you feel comfortable with. Thank you. I don't feel comfortable with anything. Okay, we're gonna do it. Let's bring it down locally, and then we're also going to dab that last wing. Okay, new file, that.js. We have a function which takes in a string and is going to parse it into an array. Actually does, there is assert that's built into Node. I'm just going to do this for my checking. And I think, does it have deep equals? Assert dot, yeah, deep equal, cool. So I can use that instead of test. Then we just want to log the whole thing. Though, is that going to crash my program if it's false? Let's see. Kata, start. Yeah, it crashes after the first one. Expected values to be loosely deep equal, null should equal that. So right now it's broke. Okay, so if we get past that one, then we're good. Okay. Danny Fritz with the fire flame emojis. All right, so this last sauce is Blairs Megadeath sauce, 550,000 Scovilles. This was actually featured on, I think, seasons like 1 through 3. So in season 1, this was the spiciest sauce. Well, actually, was it? No, I guess it wasn't. Maybe that order's wrong. But in season 2, Blairs Megadeath sauce was the spiciest sauce. Same in season 3. Season 4 is where they introduced the last dab. So the last dab is over 2 million Scovilles. So it's not quite as hot as that. So we're going to be doing Blairs Megadeath sauce. I'm not excited for this one. And, oh yeah, it's tradition here on the show to dab the last wing. You don't have to if you don't want to, but this is live on the internet, so here we go. Oh, buddy. Oh. Here we go. 550,000 Scovilles. This is hot. This is very hot. Oh god. Oh, that's spicy. I gotta drink milk. I gotta do it. That is so spicy. Ooh, I'm in pain. I'm in pain right now. I'm crying. Going for the vanilla yogurt. Give me a napkin. Okay, let's solve this thing. Okay, so first we want to make sure we need a place to store the array. So we're going to start off with an empty array. Then we're going to iterate over the string. So we're going to go from I equals 0 to s.length. Each thing is going to be our current, let's call it token, because we're iterating over it. Here, I guess let's call this result. And the current token is going to be s at I. So it's going to be each character inside of this string. Really, we need to say if the token is equal to an opening bracket, we need an array. So let's do this. Let's call this, instead of result, let's call this current array. And then we're going to say if the token is equal to let's say current array does not have a value. We want to keep it as nothing. And if the token is an opening array, then we're going to say current array equals an empty array, because now we're going to try to start pushing into it. Okay. If it's not, so else if token is not equal to a space, and token is not equal to a comma, then we have found a thing. So actually, do we have to parse numbers that are greater than like single digits? I don't know if we do. Yeah, like 1.5. Okay. So we need probably another variable that's like current value. And so if it's not a space and it's not a comma, then we're going to say current value plus equals that token. Because we're going to be adding onto it. So if we get to like a period or we get to double digits, it just keeps adding on to the current value. And then else, if the token is equal to a comma, that means we've reached the next value. So let's say current array dot push current value, and then we set current value back equal to the empty string. So let's initialize it as the empty string. Okay. Yeah, current value goes back to an empty string. We push in the current value, so that way when we come back around, we'll be looking for more tokens. And then, so yeah, so actually we need to do this. So if we come across an opening bracket, then I'm just looking at the chat. My ideology says, I'm not crying, you're crying. I am literally crying right now. Okay, but if the token is an opening bracket and current array already has a value, we want to push a new array into current array and set that to current array. So what we want to do is we want to say if current array has a value, then we're going to say new array is going to be an array, and we'll say current array dot push new array. So because what that will do is now we have this new array that we're working with, and here we'll say current array equals new array. So now when we push into the current array, we're actually pushing into that nested array. So that's great. If the current array has a value, yeah, otherwise we're going to initialize it to an empty array. Okay, so that handles like the first pass. And then we need to take care of the closing bracket. So we'll say, and actually I need a variable that holds on to the result array, like the outer one. So when I come across a new array, I got to create one. We're going to push it in. current array equals new array. I need a value that's like parent array. And here we'll say, before we reassign current array, we'll say parent array equals current array. So we take the, oh, wait. Yeah, so current array already existed. We're going to put it into parent, and then set current array equals to that new array. So now it's the one inside of it. So when we come across a closing, bracket, we set current array back to equal to parent array. So say else if token is equal to closing bracket, then we'll say if parent array, then we'll say current array equals parent array, and then keep going. I guess the thing here is the values actually need to be parsed as numbers. So current value, we need to parse as a number before we put it in. Let's actually just, we need to just log the result of this. There we go. Okay. Oh, because we're still returning null. So now we need to return the current array. Okay. Yeah, I guess. Oh, I think that's the other thing. So if the token is closing, then we also need to push the current value into the don't we? Whew. I don't know what's happening. This whole thing has just gone to hell. Just started coding. Okay. The issue here though is we're only getting back 1, 2, 3, so we're missing that last value. So let's say we saw this last. Let's say we're at 3, and then we see a parenthesis. We push 3 in. Current value equals nothing. We go back around. The token isn't a string or an empty string, so current value gets incremented by the token. We go back around. We've reached the closing bracket, and in that case, we need to push it in. So we need to say, well, actually, we need to push it before we do anything with it. So we'll say current array dot push current value. Is Quokka not working? Why isn't that working? So the token we get to is closing, and so once we get to a closing bracket, we do say current array push the value. So for whatever reason, we're not getting that back. Let's see if this thing breaks. We're pretty close on this last. Oh no, never mind. We're returning nothing for the last one. Excuse me. Okay. Let's just log token. Like, does it ever even? It never. No. It never makes it into here. If token equal. Let's log the token every time. Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we should see it. So if token is open, do this. Else if token does not equal, and doesn't equal, that's why. And token does not equal a closing bracket, increment the value. And then if we find that it's a closing bracket. Okay, so this one works. This one, really we need to say only push it if current value. So if, well, no, it could be 0, but I don't want to parse the empty string because that'll give me 0. So if current value, then current value, or no. current value and that. So that way it only pushes it if it actually has a value inside of it. We want to do that here too. Actually, do we want to push again? No, we don't, because we pushed it there. So if it's closing, we push it in, and then we reset the to be the parent array. Okay. And I guess in this case too, we really only want to push in if current value is an actual value. Okay. So that one handles it. We get up to 4, and we can handle the empty array. Let's see how we did on this one. So we have 1, 2, 3, comma, that inner array is messed up. And then 4, 4, 5. So we are definitely messing up there. Fernando is asking why not use split. We don't have to. I don't want to split on commas because of things like nested arrays. If we split on commas, things could get really tricky. I guess we could potentially see like opening and closing brackets to know when inner arrays start. But the reason I'm not using split is because a string you can use brackets to get a value outside of it. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, let's see what happens in the case of 1, 2, 3. So in this one here, by the time we reach this, so we're going to be reaching an open bracket. So it's 1, 2, 3, comma, open bracket. So we get to the open bracket. Current array is a thing because that's what we've been pushing into. We say new array is an array, and then we say current array, push that new array. That's great. Parent array gets set equal to the array that it was before, so that's the initial one. And then the current array is now this new array. So we've just created this inner array here. Then we get to the next token. And it's not a space, it's not a comma, it's not a closing bracket. So we add to the current value. Oh, I need to reset the current value here. I know I need to do that for sure. But what I'm not seeing is 1, 2, 3 being pushed in. Yeah, so I see 1, 2, 3, and then this inner array only has the value 4 inside of it. Maybe I'm missing like a more inner array. Okay. So the token is now a square bracket. Create the new array. We come back around. Current value plus equals the value of 1. We come back around and we see a comma. So at this point, current value is 1. So we push it into the current array, then reset. We come back around, it's a comma. We come back around, it's a 2. That should work. Let's just log here. Current value. I really only want to see it for these. So we see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Joe says hot sauce is getting me. It is. It's tapered off. I'm doing a little bit better now. But Danny has a good point. Parent array gets lost when you go too deep. Okay. Cool. So maybe parent array needs to be an array of arrays that we like pop off just to keep track of where the previous parent was. Yeah, and I think that that's what happens because we lose the parent array and now we just have that 4 and that lasting 5, but we're missing that inner array. Okay. Alka's saying it's been 14 minutes. I didn't set a timer. I might. I think I can handle it. You can watch me cry again. But yes, I am losing the parent. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, when we get here, we create a new array and we lose, yeah, I guess we lose the original parent, which is why we end up with 1, 2, 3. So if we actually did like 1, 2, 3, 4 and like 1, 2, 3, 7, we can see that right now my code is throwing away that parent array. It's just taking the inner one, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I think let's call this like parent arrays. And we'll say parent arrays dot push current array. So this will kind of behave like a stack. And each new parent gets pushed in, so we can keep track of the previous parent. And then we'll say if parent arrays dot length current array equals parent arrays dot pop. So that'll give us the last one in the parent arrays. Let's see what we get. So we get 1, 2, 3, 7. Ah, it's working. It's working. Okay, so I think the and that still works too. So the tricky parts I think come in whenever we reach like invalid cases. So like if we reach something that doesn't have opening brackets, then we return null. So yeah, actually I just want to run my code against Code Wars and then and see where it potentially fails. Okay, and we'll log S so we know where we're failing and what we can do. So sample tests are good. Do an attempt. Okay. This is invalid. Expected null instead got. Oh no, that one's good. Oh, I see. So this should have given us null because we closed an array without opening it. Okay. So yeah, we need to account for if an array opens and then an array closes, and then we try to open an array again, we need to make sure that parent isn't defined. Let's just test this one locally. This one should return null. But it's returning the array inside of the array. Okay, so if we reach an opening and we'll say if current array exists, that's great. But what if, well, actually, yeah, when we reach a closing, okay, this is what I'm thinking. So we reach a closing, we should actually set, like, if parent arrays.length has a length, then we set current array. Else, if there are no parents and we reached a closing, is it automatically not, like, invalid? No, that breaks it. It works in this case, and it breaks in every single case. So if parent arrays has a length, okay. Actually, I guess we want to do it on the opening bracket. So if we get to an opening bracket, I don't know. Else, if I is equal to 0. So we really only want to create a new array if I is equal to 0. Okay. So that way, right here, we'll say else current array equals null. I don't know what to do. I might have to eat another spicy wing. I'm taking way too long. Yeah, okay. Joshua Ferris asks, how many taste buds are remaining? My taste buds are fine. My capsaicin receptors are saturated. Joe says, I like the sound effects. I'm about to get divorced. But programming, keeping, let me see. Okay, I'm glad that programming and watching me eat spicy things is helping you get through that. I'm sorry that you have to go through that. Oh, that's a good call, Topher. And hello, Topher. Topher is saying, wouldn't it be easier to handle this recursively? So that's the only way to do an unknown number of nesting levels. Yeah. So like, it could be that when we reach a new array, we just recursively call this function and then push the resulting value into the array that we've created. That might help with my what do you call it? When to return null issue. I don't know. I guess I kind of need to do this too. So return up. So let's say if current value is equal to nothing, then return the current array, else return null. That will help the situation where we don't have like a closing value. So that helps there. But then something like, I think it logs above where it failed. Yeah, it's like this. This should give us back null because I think we'll make it out of the loop. Yeah, so that's good. I don't think we're losing the parent. I just need to figure out what should happen if we start a new array having closed the first array. And really that comes into play right here. So if current array exists, we create a new array. But really we need to say if current array I don't know. I'm totally lost on this. I should have done harder to easier. It would like I've lost my mind at this point. Okay, if the current array already exists, actually, so I'm thinking when we close it, we kind of want to set current array to nothing. And then here, else we return null. So if this is the first pass, set it to an array. If this is not the first pass and current array doesn't exist, then we're going to return null. I think that's the way to do it. Because what I'm saying, oh no, I broke it. This is like the only one I need to return null for. It's basically like, if we have an array that's outside of an array, I don't know. Let me try my current solution and see like how many other things are breaking on it. Because it could just be that one scenario, and then we could add like a hard-coded check-in for it. Oh, what happened? Oh, did I Chrome closed in its entirety? Okay. All right, let's try again. 3 failed. Okay. So, this failed. That failed. So if you have a closing without an opening, okay. And then that failed. So if you have an opening and then another opening and that one doesn't ever close. Okay. So this is doable. So if token equals closing array, Yeah, so we would have parsed the first two. We get to the second one, and there is no value, so we don't push it because current value is empty, and we reset current value. I really think I need to set current array to null at some point, because that would help with trying to like return the overall array itself. Yeah, so if we reach the end, I can't set current array equal to null because then it's always going to return null. That's the issue there. Did my YouTube chat go away? I need to pull that back up. Just a second. I'm going to eat another spicy wing. I have to do it. Let's pop out the chat. Yeah, I just gotta eat another spicy wing. I've been taking way too long on this one. Is it gonna help me solve this? I don't know. Probably not. But yeah. Let's see real quick. Spacey saying stack of arrays while also holding on to the top level one, returning when the stack length is 0. Yeah, honestly. I guess that could work. Joe says, let's leave the hot sauce out of thinking next time. This will probably be the last time I do this show. I mean, unless it's very popular and people want to see me cry again. Then yeah. But yeah, instead of calling it current array, let's just have like top level array, right? So if we have a top level array, and I don't know. Oh, stack of arrays. Yeah, so if we just call this arrays, all arrays. And current array is inside of it. Every time we create a new array, we could potentially push into this. Every time an array ends, we'll pop out of it. And if the length is not 1 at the end, then we return null. Does that work? Danny might have a fix to save us all. Only allow a new array if there is a parent. Oh, well, that's kind of what I was doing here. Oh, okay. I can add the check up here too. So, if current array, yeah. Here we'll check it. So, if parents dot length equals 0. Something like this. Yeah, I think you're onto something, Danny. If parent array length is 0, return null. But we also need to check in I is not equal to 0, because if I is equal to 0, then we want to create that array because we're starting it off as nothing. Okay, so that fixes this one, that fixes that one. I think the one last case we need to account for is what if you have this? Yeah, and that's still returning the first one. So now we need to account for a closing when there wasn't an opening. So we have the closing token. If parent arrays dot length, pop it off. Okay, what were the other ones? So this one I think we can account for. Yeah, that one works. But this one, we need to do something special. So here we push into the array. We're done with that first one, and then it's going to come back around and the token is closing. So at this point, I do want to return null if parent array doesn't have a length. Oh, current array doesn't have a length. I might just cheat this one because it's the last value in the array. So if it's, I could just do this. I could say if the input equals this, return null. That's a horrible way to do it, but it technically would still work. Let's see. This is a mess. This is a mess of code. Here we go. Oh. Oh, no, even more are failing with those recent additions. Okay, wait. 111 failed. Ah! Ah! Because really it's right here. So if we have an open bracket and parent array's length is 0, then return null. I think that's where those are catching up. Spacey is saying, OMG, do match brackets on it at the start and return false if it's false. That's a great idea. So if the brackets just straight up don't work out at the beginning, we return false. Love your thinking, Spacey. And we solved this earlier today, so it's not cheating. So we have this valid braces. Really, we only need to account for square brackets, but regardless, this will still check for valid braces. So if we do this first, oh, well, no. We can do this, but we need to pluck out the braces from the string itself. So if we log s, I want to do s.match a regular expression with opening braces or curly braces. Let's see. Find Is that how that works? I basically just want to pull out the brackets. Let's do this. s.filter. Well, we'd have to turn it into an array. We need to remove all things except for braces from the string to then check to see if those are valid braces. Okay. s.replace. Yeah, I think we can replace anything that is not an open bracket or a closed bracket. So we could do, I think, something like not closing bracket. Do I need parentheses? I think I need parentheses there. And not closing bracket. Unnecessary escape. Place it with the empty string. Well, that didn't work. Oh, I need two closing. I've gone off the deep end. I don't know what's happening anymore. I have to solve this kata though. I must solve it. Okay. Okay, Danny has a regex for me. Okay. If it is not that and not that. Oh, but I need to be a global. Hey. Okay, so so that gives us just the braces, and then we can put it through our valid braces function. So we'll say if valid braces with braces. If it's not, so if these are not valid braces, immediately return null. There we go. Yeah, and Spacey has it, global regex. I guess apparently I don't need to escape that one. And that seems to work. Okay, what is this complaining about? Does it never make it here? Oh no, it does, it has to. Oh no, I'm returning null here. Did I get rid of, no, I need to get rid of this extra logic now, that's why. Oh. I think here's the thing. This is technically valid braces. Is that why? Yeah, so that's null, that's null. Why is this one returning null? Oh, because the first time you make it here, there is no parent array. Do this. Right? I think I just need I need another spicy hot wing. That's what I need right now. Okay, have wings that have sauce on them. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the Blairs Megadeath sauce on the wing that already has Sriracha on it. I've been taking way too long, and I cannot complete this kata without feeling the pain. Actually, yeah, we'll toss it. Toss it in the bowl. Here we go. This could be my end. Or I could reach enlightenment. I could find the answer. This is absolutely the thing to do, right? Can't figure it out. I just gotta eat a spicy hot wing. Oh god. Whew. Okay. So the one area we're messing up is if we have if we have an array that's opening after the only array has already closed. So, oh god, oh god. Instant regret. Yes. I got it. It's fine. No, it's fine. Okay. So if a new array is opening after the old one is closed, return null. I think what we can do is been good knowing you. Yeah, imagine the 2 million Scoville sauce. I know, like, I actually ordered some. I just didn't make it in yet. I'm glad I don't have to deal with it. This is 550,000 Scovilles. Okay. So we have an array that closed. A new array is opening. We need to instantly return null. So the check really needs to happen here. A current array will exist. Because we made it to the end. We create the new array. Yeah, but we don't want to create this new array. Excuse me. If there is if there's nothing in the parent array. Yeah. Oof. So if parent arrays dot length is greater than 0, and really this push into the parent array will need to happen here on the closing. Excuse me. Oof. I'm confusing myself. Let's get rid of that. But what I was thinking was, okay, we reach the closing bracket, and that's when we can push the current array into the parent array. Does that make sense? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, man. All the other case, let's just make sure that that's like the only place it's failing. Let's see. And here we'll just log s at the top. Okay, that's our only failing one. Oh, I'm just gonna do this. If s is equal to that, return null. Go. Ah! This was not my finest hour. This was not my finest Kata solution, but we've done it, and I am gonna go and chug that entire bottle of chocolate milk. Thanks everyone for watching. Alka says cheater. I'm freaking out here, but that's the only case. All my logic. Yeah. Here goes Bob. You did it, CJ. You conquered Spice Mountain. 7 hot wings up, 7 hot wings down. The floor is yours. The camera, this camera, this camera, this camera. Let the people know what you got going on in your life. If you didn't know, that's from Hot Ones. What I have going on in my life is a weekend staying home and staying near a bathroom. That's what I've got going on in my life. I'm gonna stream. I probably won't stream this weekend. I gotta take a break, but I will stream next weekend. We'll do Katas again Wednesday, maybe some other streams. But yeah, I did 2 Megadeaths. Okay, I did 2. Okay. Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Let's see. Quite a few of you have stayed with me this whole way, and I appreciate that. All right. Yeah, this was fun. This hurt, but I did it for you. So wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Until next time, here's this.